Hi everybody and welcome back. Thank you for joining me once again. And today I'm going to combine days 23 and 24 together if you're watching this series, because yesterday I was just not feeling great and I didn't manage to get in front of the camera, and I'm not going to beat myself up over it. Sometimes life just gets a bit much. Even for people that are trying to inspire people, it still gets a bit much sometimes, and sometimes you just need to take a break. It was just one of those high pressure days where everything felt off and I really did not feel like getting in front of the camera and being all upbeat. But I'm feeling great again today, and it's just one of, when you get to, I don't know, I think when I was younger, I didn't used to have days like that, and I didn't need to used to take a break, or maybe I hadn't done enough work on myself at the time, and maybe I forced myself to not take a break, and because I didn't understand what self-care was. I just took a day yesterday. I just nourished my body, I got some more sleep in and just looked after myself, and I don't feel bad about it, so nor should you. And that is my point. It's totally okay to have days like that, and I don't want anyone feeling guilty about taking a day out, or even if you are doing sort of 30 days clean eating and then you decide to not clean eat for a day. Like, so what? You know, it's part of life, and if that's how you feel and that's going to make you feel better, then that's the most important thing, is looking after yourself and not getting too caught up in perfection, which is something that you may struggle with, is perfectionism. We're in the final stretch of the clean eating challenge that I've been doing. So I want to talk about something really important today, and to emphasize that this is not a diet. I really, really want to get that through, particularly to women of my age and even younger. Like, I say this to my daughter as well. It's not a diet. Just eating whole foods and cutting out processed foods is just, you know, you were brought up. There's a book, actually, it's a Reader's Digest book that somebody gave to me, and it was made in 1996, or published in 1996, so it was probably the year after I left school, a long time ago, and the health advice in there is wild. I might do a separate video on that, actually, because it's really interesting, and just break down some of the advice that we were given, particularly when we were younger, and why we might think that choosing a whole foods is a diet, when in fact it's just eating naturally and eating naturally occurring foods, and not picking up ready meals, or I can't think what they call them in that book, but I'm going to do a separate video on that, so I'll link it up when I've done it, because some of the advice in there is, like, when I was younger, I used to think that eating healthy, and because we didn't have the internet then, you didn't know what healthy food was really, unless I didn't even know these kind of books existed then. Maybe I didn't realize the importance of healthy. I used to think that healthy food was a salad sandwich, and then in this Reader's Digest book, it does have a healthy alternative to processed food is a tuna salad sandwich. So I didn't get it from nowhere. That was my understanding of what was healthy then. So you can see why we've got this warped view, our age, of what healthy food is, or what non-processed food is anyway. And I know I have some friends that haven't been as interested in their diets as I have been, or interested in nutrition as much as I've been. And I'm not a nutritionist, I just have a massive interest in it. I think that's from doing CrossFit, because CrossFit is massively paleo and whole foods, Whole30. And that's probably when I started really taking notice of my diet, is when I joined CrossFit, and that is one thing that was really good at educating me on my diet. Eating whole clean foods is just a healthier way of living. It's not a strict diet of rules that you need to follow for the rest of your life. It's quite simple, and that's what I really want to do, is get the simplicity. I just think everything's got so complicated lately, and it doesn't need to be. We need to simplify things, and that's what I really want to do here, simplify things, just to keep it simple. That's basically what I want to do. And I've been more than disciplined this month. I know some of you have too. I've had messages from people that said they've been sticking to it, or they've stuck to it during the week, and at the weekends they haven't. Fine, that's, you know, you do you. This is not me telling you need to eat like this. It's just saying what works for me. My plan when I finish this is to just finish off doing 80-20. So that might mean that when I go out for dinner, I have a dessert, maybe once a week, or whatever I decide. It's as long as I'm feeling good and I'm listening to my body. And that is the one thing that I want to get across as well, is for you to get in tune with your body and really start understanding what things work for you and what don't, and that your body does change over time. And I've seen a lot of this in posts of people saying but they don't like certain foods now that they've come into, say, menopause or perimenopause. And that's, that is your body and your hormonal changes and everything that makes a difference. As you get older, things just change, and embrace it. Try different things. You never know what you might like. And that's a good thing, because there's a lot of people sort of saying all the bad things that's happening in perimenopause. But what about all the good things? The fact that you might actually decide to like something that you didn't like before. So trying to take a positive outlook on this, because it is like going through puberty all over again, but the reverse. Very weird. But anyway, and not forcing ourselves into something that we can't maintain. That's another thing. So like I said, yesterday was tough for me. I didn't feel great, and I think that's the emotional roller coaster of getting to this sort of age. Is it's you feel different on different days. It doesn't matter if you're clean eating and you're balancing out your hormones as such. You can still have down days, and that's what yesterday was. So I listened to my body, took a rest, as I said before. So it's just okay. I just want to really reinforce that it's okay just to take a moment and reset and move forward, and don't be too hard on yourself. So today, I just really want to drive home the idea that eating whole foods is a form of self-care in itself. So it's not about depriving yourself or following rules. It's about nourishing your body with simple, clean ingredients that make you feel your best. So as we move through today and yesterday and into the final week now, so think about what this will look like after the challenge for you as well, if you've been following this along. So what's felt good for you? Questions like that you might want to ask yourself. What habits do you want to keep as well? Have there been any habits that you've picked up, good habits, that you'd want to keep? Or maybe you found meals that you love, or discovered that boring eating is quite simple because you don't have to think about it. And maybe you've discovered as well, if you've been doing this, foods that give you more energy, or even, I think I talked about this in an earlier video, if you listen to your body at certain times of day, or what, do you want to eat breakfast at breakfast time, as everyone else decides that it's breakfast time between whatever time people eat breakfast? I don't know, because I don't eat at the same time every day. But I find that I don't really like eating after sort of 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. Have you found your time eating? Is there a certain time that you like to eat that you think is the best time for you to fuel yourself? These kind of things that might have come out as well. And it doesn't even need to have been 30 days. You could do a day of eating this way, and then find that, actually, if I eat at 9 o'clock in the morning, or if I leave food until midday and then eat again at 4 o'clock, I feel better. So it might be that. I don't know. I'm not you. What things can you give yourself some grace on as well? Because I think there's a lot of it in our age as well, is you just beating yourself up all the time about what you're eating. I did it from the age of maybe sort of 17 onwards. I've been constantly, all I thought about was my weight and what I should and shouldn't be eating, even though I didn't even know what I should and shouldn't be eating, because you weren't educated on that. So, chocolate was bad. That was pretty much the education we had on food, if I remember rightly, at school. Everything else, not a clue. Didn't have a clue until I started, like I say, doing CrossFit. So it's meant to be enjoyed and not to be stressed over. So that's another thing that I just want to really sort of push home. Whether yesterday was feeling tough for you, today you're on top of things, it's all up and down all the time. So just really keep showing up, keep going. And just remember that you have highs and lows in this, and don't beat yourself up if you decide to have a chocolate bar one day. It's not the end of the world. It's just really making choices that support your health and well-being as well, particularly as you get into middle age. It just helps with side effects of menopause and perimenopause, is keeping on top of your diet. But don't be beating yourself up if you don't stick to things. Don't let one day throw you off track. So I'd love to know in the comments how you're feeling today, and if you have days like this as well, particularly if you're going through perimenopause as well. And what's been working for you so far? What's the best things that you've taken away from this? I'd love to hear what's resonated with you as well. I know that there's been a video that I did on just what eating whole foods isn't a diet. It's a way of just don't eat processed foods. That's simply it. But I will have processed foods again. I love a Jaffa cake. There you go. That's processed. But I'll see you tomorrow for day 25. And until then, just keep it simple. Just really keep it simple. Listen to your body, because you know best. You know what's right for your body. And remember, it isn't about being perfect either. It's about finding what works for you and sticking with it in a way that feels good for you as well. So I really hope that's helped today. And I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it.